did you go straight into agency or were you doing something in between?
Yeah, so I had an earnout in the deal. And we also started up a little agency because it wasn't filling my time. And so there was me, my partner, Andre, who started out as my best media buyer of all time. Then he was the COO of the book business. Then we grabbed his right-hand guy, Calvin, who's still with us. Guy's awesome. So we're like, oh, we'll just go run with guys that we know. And we did. And then as the earnout was kind of winding down, we turned it into an agency. And now we've just been growing very, very quickly.
What's the biggest difference you noticed in that 6-year difference of being in more of the affiliate capacity to being back in the agency affiliate capacity?
One, iOS 14. That was a huge thing, even for us at the book business. It was, we were going to wildly, wildly profitable to like, oh shit, this got hard. I also think the game's changed. The marketing fundamentals never really changed, but kind of the tools that you use to be successful are. And like the algorithms change. How do you scale campaigns? How do you test campaigns? A lot of the advertisers are the same, at least for us. They've been around for a while, but there's like this whole wave of new guys coming up. And we have
smart kids.
Dude, we have a couple guys that are like, everything we touch prints money. And it is nuts. And they're great partners. And then we got some OGs who like, they're battle tested. Like they know what they're doing. And those guys are awesome too. But I don't know. It's the game's a little bit different. It's way more creative heavy now.
Yes.
We look at initiate checkout to purchase events now. We never did. It was like ad, CPA.
Conversion. Yeah.
That was it. And so now we're constantly looking at all the funnel metrics. Now we always looked at land or CTR, but today like that initiate checkout to purchase is probably the biggest thing we look at because you get 3 times the data on an initiate checkout event than you do purchase.
Right.
So yeah.
So you're going deeper. You have to go deeper.
You have to, because otherwise you're just bleeding money. Right. And so even though we're an agency now, which we are, but we still operate like affiliates. Like that's our culture. We just want high scale. We hit our target CPAs and we pause, throughout the morning and the day, depending on how traffic is. But yeah, it's a little bit different.
Why did you choose to re-enter the space as an agency as opposed to a pure affiliate model?
So that's a great question. So about August of this year, we made the hard switch, and some of it's age, probably most of it, I guess. Some of it's like also the brand that I have, in the sense that like our pitch goes something like this: you're coming to us for traffic, so I don't need to prove to you that we know how to do what we do. I've been around a long time. We know how to do the thing. So really, you only have 3 risk factors. You have, is your offer any good? Maybe it is, maybe it isn't. How's Facebook doing? Is it choppy? Is it good now? Is it bad now? Whatever. And the third one is, are we the guys? And I think the third one for seasoned advertisers, they get that one too, but it's sometimes they'll ask, what does that mean if you're the guys? One of our largest offers, we're the 7th guy in, and we crushed that offer. I know most of the guys who tested it, but they just didn't crack it for whatever reason. But then there's been other offers where we don't crack it and somebody comes in behind us and they do. Does that mean that they're good and we're not, or vice versa? Not really. Some of it's luck, or you thought of the right angle, or it's the saggy arms to the turkey neck.
Yeah.
Right? And so a piece of that's luck. And then for us, if an offer isn't scaling, we'll either stop it for opportunity cost or they'll stop us. We don't do long-term contracts. You can stop us today.
Yeah.
And we just like working with high scaling offers with guys we like.
That's the sphere. If you had to come in this space as a brand new affiliate,
yeah,
you didn't have relationships, you didn't have connections, you had enough money to get things going, but you had the knowledge of what you know now. What would you do if we wanted to operate as an affiliate?
I think the most important thing, so if you have some base skills, the most important thing is the relationship. So we grew because we always wanted and tested new offers. We never took anything that was scaling. And so if you make money with somebody on a new offer, that advertiser will just keep bringing you the next one and the next one and the next one. The trick is try not to lose on the first one or lose badly. I guess if you're an affiliate, the advertiser doesn't lose. But we also always treated this business as a business, not as an ATM machine. We just always operated above board, honest, direct. We never squeezed on CPAs. So for us, if we're running at $100 CPA and I go to an advertiser and I say, hey man, it's not working, I need 105, I am prepared to stop if I don't get 105. And I think a lot of affiliates also will take an advertiser's last dollar, and that's fine. That's the advertiser's choice. But now you're not building a relationship and actually being a service provider, which is what an affiliate is. And sometimes it can turn into a very contentious relationship.
Where you're at butting head, you're at.
Yeah.
Right.
And so everybody thinks everybody else is making more money. And on the affiliate side, if we're making enough money, then we're happy. And so, like, I just don't want to take the last dollar from the advertiser.
Just because you can.
Yeah. And,
how has that served you in not just more recently, but the last 10 years?
You know, it was really interesting. I had a deal move across my desk a couple months ago, and I was talking to a buddy of mine, OG in the space, and he's like, yeah, you probably shouldn't do that deal. I don't think the partnership would be good for your brands. And so I was like, yeah, but like, you're dealing with me. I have a great reputation, whatever. And he goes, actually, you have no reputation. And I was like, what does that mean? He goes, nobody talks shit about you. You always, over the 10 years, always did what you said, always treated people fairly, always paid, like never tried to grab the last dollar. And so as time moved on, they know that they can trust me, us, our brand, and how we operate. And so much like we try to decouple the risk in the offer, the advertiser's trying to decouple the risk in the affiliate or the agency. So like they know what they're going to get. It's the personal brand is really what it is.
Yeah. On the technical side, how would you approach like something like auto insurance? If you wanted to operate as an affiliate, what's like the 10 steps to scaling? Same scenario, you have knowledge, a little bit of money.
I think if I jumped into auto, which by the way, that was like one of the first offers I tested years and years ago. The ads were so bad. I found them in a Dropbox probably a year ago. It's like embarrassing. I think at the end of the day in lead gen, there's a couple things. One, quality matters, right? And so the feedback loop from the advertiser, if you have the right partner, is really going to help you improve your quality. Because if the better you can make, assuming you're running to an aggregator, you're new, right? The better you can make the aggregator look to their buyer, the happier they are too, in addition to scale, right? I think also it comes down, it's always the angle and the unique mechanism. And so I think the biggest unlock for us with AI today isn't that we use it to write copy, which we really don't, but it's the ideation of the angles and the pain points and trying to figure out who those avatars are. So we'll build a table, and what's my avatar? I'm a 45-year-old guy, I live in Austin, Texas. I'm kind of little down on my luck. I'm looking to cut ways to save money. Maybe auto insurance is one of them. And then you ask GPT, through the prompting, you're like, all right, tell me all of these things or all of these reasons or ways that I would save money. What have I considered? Why did these options not work? Why did they not work? And why is auto insurance the right one? So, and then we take the best ones that we like and we move it to copy. And then for us, without going too in the weeds in our testing strategy, for us, copy is first. So most of our ads when we launch are all faces. I don't care what you're selling, but a face will make you stop. Eye contact, always blue eyes. And so they're like, what is this? So they move to the copy. After we get the copy dialed, then we flip to the creative. So ad set structures are by copy until we find a winner. And then they move to a structure by creative.
And so you do this today over Facebook?
We do it for everything. For everything.
So you're typically, I'd imagine there's some burn with this up front because that's not going to be like your highest, obviously your winner in any, maybe.
Yeah, but for us, it goes back to managing that risk coefficient thing. So one of the examples I'll give people is like, let's assume you're 30 years old, you're making some money and you want to get married. So do you go to a bar on a Friday night and you go, hey, you're really cute, we should get married? No, There's like 100 steps in between. So what's the first step? Get her number, take her out on a date, meet her friends, go on vacation, meet the parents, right? Like all of these things. So if you approach things with a staged gain approach, then at any point, the cost to the next step isn't backing out. You know where the problem is.
Yep.
And we made this mistake when we were young, but the Facebook pixel was also different. So it was literally a date, phone number marriage. And I just don't think that works today. So even when we were running affiliate, so on our dollar, not the client's dollar, we still tested that way. Because I knew that as soon as we found a winner, you can scale the shit out of that. And any of the budget and time that you put on the front end, you'll more than make up for it.
It's minimal too, it sounds like.
That's right.
You do it.
That's right. And it's a simple process and it's easy to follow. And so I'll have guys reach out to me and they're like, what's your testing strategy? That's it. Like, it's literally, what's the next step? Focus on getting the metrics that you need there and then keep moving down the funnel. And when you have a winner, like Andre, my partner, dug into the data and found this very interesting stat that we live by today. A winner doesn't lose more than once in the first 3 days and more than twice in the first 7. And so you may have a rocky day, but like when you hit a winner, like you just know. Yeah, and so that's what we're looking for.
Interesting. So would you be toying with the funnel, or like if it's like a pre-lander to the offer site at this point, or is it strictly copy with like a static demographic image?
We only run static. We do no video. Highly controversial.
Still.
Highly controversial.
Not us, Harvey.
Yeah, but there's a couple different reasons why. One of them is video just hasn't been our jam. But really what it comes down to is our click costs are cheaper on static than they are on video. So for us, if I own a dress shop and I'm trying to sell a woman a dress, do I try to sell this woman the dress on the street? No. What's the first thing I need to do? I need to get her into the store where I control the entire environment. I could have that one dress in the middle of the room with nothing else, right? Arrows pointing from the ceiling at this dress. And then after that, I'm like, how do I get her to browse? How do I get her to pull a dress off the rack? How do I get her to go to the changing room and try it on? How do I get her to the cash register to pay? How do I add shoes, a purse, and jewelry to increase the AOV? So like, it's just always process for us. Yeah.
What's something new you've learned more recently as you've gone from the publishing company or selling to moving into this agency model?
The biggest surprise is most of our clients like agency. It's shocking to me because I spent most of my time shit talking agencies because we were affiliates. So I'm like, yeah, but they don't run as hard as us and they don't care and they don't,
No.
And so what we found though was that depending on the advertiser, there's a couple key points. One is they like consistency of the relationship. We will talk to them about the traffic. And the other piece, this one surprised me, but as soon as one advertiser said it to me, I asked the other advertisers, and it's very true. An affiliate always has a choice to switch between offer A and offer B, right? So if that offer isn't doing as well, they keep having to pay you more to keep you there. So you're always 1 foot out the door, right? And imagine that you're in a relationship with a woman and she's always like, this guy was talking to me at the grocery store today, and you're like, okay, no problem. But like every day, it becomes exhausting. And so they have to pay higher CPAs. So they actually make more money with us on agency than they do if we were an affiliate. And that was a huge unlock for me. So do we make as much money as we could as an affiliate? Absolutely not. Absolutely not. But my revenue is consistent and predictable,
right?
And so is their sales volume.
There's de-risking on both sides in a lot of ways.
Yeah. By the way, mind-blowing, actually, for me.
But would you also say that's unique to you because you were an affiliate and you understand how important like front-end CPA matters?
Yeah.
Whereas a lot of guys that just jump into agency, several on YouTube that I profoundly bash. I don't know. I think see me talk a little crap in groups.
Yeah.
And it bothers me because they stout a different message to the masses about this is what matters. But in reality, that front-end acquisition is super important.
I think it comes down to your personal brand, right? So if all you care about is making as much money as you can, eventually you'll fuck that advertiser. And now you'll need to go find another client. And so for us, it's like, how do we deliver the very best results for that client, maintain the CPA target, don't be wildly aggressive with budgets. And it also has to do with the team that you hire and the way that you structure. So I know that a lot of agencies have a creative team, a media team, and a copywriting team. But like, if a campaign isn't working, whose fault is it? Well, you know, Johnny doesn't know how to buy, Susie doesn't know how to write, and Steve doesn't know how to, media buy or whatever. So you end up with this. And so this time we tried a new pod structure. So we have a performance manager at the top who's basically an affiliate, and we scale him with individuals under his team. So that guy runs his own mini P&L, and I want to hit the target and I want to do well by the client. Like if we have a client where we're not hitting goals and I see red, it stresses me the fuck out, and I'm too old to have that stress for this thing. And we've had clients just like, keep going, keep testing. I'm like, you don't understand. I can't wake up another day and see losses on your account. It stresses me out. We've done everything.
They're getting mad eventually, right?
Yeah. But a lot of agencies are like, dude, these guys just pay me. We don't lose. But then they have massive amounts of churn. And I don't want that. I just want them to look at us and go, these guys do a great job, and then refer us. We had a client we parted ways with. We couldn't make his offer work. He referred me to 4 guys in the next 2 weeks.
You did right by him.
Yeah, we lost him money. We tried our best. But
a good advertiser knows that. They understand.
Yeah. I mean, he'd been around, right? And so I just think that speaks volumes to the way that you treat that person will introduce you to the next one or many who help you grow your brand in your agency.
100%. It's a people business. People, I think I always try to remind, especially like newer guys we meet, the most important thing is a relationship.
It is, even on the affiliate side, right? So on the affiliate side, how did we grow with these relationships? We would do right by the advertisers on ClickBank, let's say, and they all talk, by the way. Like they all talk. It's like, who's running your traffic? And it'll be like, oh, well, Kutasi's running traffic for us. Can you make an intro? And then we would get these deals exclusive. So we only run exclusive. We always have. I hate getting ripped. So, and by the way, if we're not doing well, like we're not driving enough sales or revenue, I will never block you from making money. Bring somebody in, take the exclusivity away. You will have another offer and we'll have another chance to work together. But it's very selfish to just like take that guy's last dollar.